13 races remain in the 2023 Trinity River Cup Series season. With those 13 races remaining, we arrive at Road America in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin for race number 20 of the 32-race season, the Culver's 400K. And folks, the championship standings coming into this one, there's more on the line in the points at this point of the season than there has been any other part of the season by far. With so few races remaining now, only 13, we are deep into the second half of the season now, and 11, count them, 11 drivers are within a race worth of points coming into this one. Elijah Gordon sits atop the point standings. He has 474 points totaled this season, 12 ahead of Braden Perez, 14 ahead of Chase Buck, 19 ahead of Roberto Crown Jr., 31 ahead of Alex Lozano, 34 ahead of both Scott Upton and John Andrews, 36 ahead of Thomas Troxel, 43 ahead of Paul Antoine Cyr, and rounding out the top 11, since there's a tie for 10th place, both 44 points back, are Eric Monaco and Anthony McClure. Justin Zeidel on the pole position for this one, starting alongside Gateway winner Brock Nelson, and Row 2 Auto Clip winner Keegan Thompson, starting alongside 6th place in the points, Scott Upton. Row number 3, we find Christian Vargas starting alongside points leader Elijah Gordon. Daytona 500 winner Trey Smith starts alongside two-time winner a year ago Priya McShane in row number 4, and Trey Wright and Alejandro Cruz Jr. round out the top 10. Wright with one career win in the series. It came at a road course in Season 3 at Willow Springs. Here we go, Justin Zeidel going to lead the field down to the start-finish line to get the Culver's 400K underway. 13 laps on the board for this one today, around this little over 4-mile road course. And here we go, up the hill as everybody gets set and ready to go 13 laps. And the Culver's 400K at Road America is gonna get the green flag, and we are racing in Wisconsin. Oh, Gordon with a bonsai move already on the start, as well as Eric Monaco, who's looking to gain some points in the championship back. Zeidel with a big pinch on Brock Nelson into turn number 1. Upton wide going through 1. They head through 2, and now down into turn number 3. This is where it's going to get tricky. But everybody making it through well so far. A lot of 3 wide here on the start. Brandon Hayes threading the needle between Kanan Biller and Mitchell Henderson, but up ahead it is Justin Zeidel who pulls away for the time being. Nelson into 2nd, Thompson 3rd, Vargas up to 4th, Upton back to 5th. Here's Priya McShane down to the inside for 5th. He's going to take that spot from the 78. Like the field still making it through that corner. Very well done. As they head through 6 and out of turn number 7, now a little short shoot, heading down to turn number 8 before you get into the carousel. Zeidel, a wider entry than Brock Nelson into the carousel under the Speedville sign. Zeidel slips wide a little bit. Nelson trying to power it on the inside in that 73. Oh, Upton's going to slip wide on Elijah Gordon, Brandon Hayes, and Nicholas Samadillo side by side coming out of the carousel, and now into the most dangerous corner on the whole racetrack, the infamous kink. It looks like everybody's making it through so far, and you've got to be super, super careful going through that turn. That's the fastest corner on the entire racetrack. Zeidel leads Brock Nelson out of Kettle Bottoms and Canada Corner into the final few corners of this first lap at Road America. Now out of turn number 14. Oh, Nelson's going to take a peek to the inside, up the hill, going to pull back in behind that 83. Nelson definitely has some speed underneath that Honda. Here's Priya McShane going side by side with Christian Vargas. That is for the 4th place right now. McShane in 5th, going for 4th. Vargas trying to hold on to 4th. Zeidel holds on to the lead up front for the time being. These drivers back here, it's going to be Vargas pulling ahead of that 91. Expect a pit cycle about halfway, by the way, so about lap 7 we should see most of the field, if not everybody, come down into the pits. That's how it was 1 year ago. Everybody just came down in the pits all at once. So it's definitely, this race is probably going to be won in the pits. This is a very difficult racetrack to overtake on, and I would imagine that the fastest pit stop is going to win this one. So let's check on your championship top 5 right now. It is Elijah Gordon, who sits in the, it looks like the 8th position right now. He just got overtaken by Alejandro Cruz Jr. As we focus up front for a second. Braden Perez, second in points, is 29th right now. Chase Buck is 34th. He comes in third in the championship standings. Roberto Crown Jr., who's been on a hot streak as of late, they sit 4th in the championship standings, but 23rd on the racetrack. And 5th in the championship standings coming in is Alex Lozano. And Lozano currently is 25th on the racetrack. So Gordon, if he's able to hold on to the spot he's in right now, a top 10 spot, able to pick up a bunch of points ahead of the top 5 after already gapping them 1 week ago at Pocono. That race won by Dale Lightning, by the way. Big shout out to Dale Lightning, snapping the winless streak that dated back to November of 2020 in the Season 2 finale at Chicagoland Speedway. Big props to Dale Lightning, the Scots National Series champion of 2021, for getting that done. Looks like William Brock has already run into trouble. Damage on the front and rear of the Best Buy number 59. Keegan Thompson, by the way, has gotten around Brock Nelson for that second position. Nelson, good job getting through turn 3, and that's why I mentioned it, because Cruz, that happens a lot. Cruz did not get turn 3 down well at all, and looks like Elijah Gordon's going to get back by. So the points leader back into the 7th position, and Trey Smith's going to go for a dive on Cruz. They could be 3 wide heading off into this turn. Not quite. Gordon's just ahead of this, so it's going to be a battle between Cruz and Smith for that 8th position, and Cruz will hold on to it. Up ahead, Justin Zeidel has a sizable gap ahead of his teammate Keegan Thompson. Brock Nelson third, Christian Vargas, Priya McShane, then Scott Upton, Elijah Gordon, Alejandro Cruz Jr., Trey Smith, and Iowa winner Brandon Hayes rounds out the top 10 here on lap 3 at Road America as they head through the carousel once again, out of the carousel and into the kink. Zeidel makes it through smooth, as does the whole top 5, really. Now through Kettle Bottoms and heading towards Canada Corner. Boy, Zeidel got through there good. Thompson, I think, got through there a little better, though. Nelson about the same as the 23. The top 5 have gapped everybody else behind. You see on the standings, it's 2.9 behind for 5th place, and then it's 4.6 for Scott Upton, who is in the 6th position. So that's about a 1.7 second difference. The last time through, 1.72 second difference between 5th and 6th. We'll see what it is for Upton this time through, 5.34, so almost 3 seconds this time through. They have continued to lose ground on the top 5. So I would almost imagine it's fair to say whoever is going to win this race is going to have the best pit stop from at least the top 5. And oh, Gordon a bad entry, and same for Trey Smith heading off into turn number 3. Rose not an ideal entry, but this is getting tight back here. Well, Parrish went for a dive on Colin Teague, not quite able to, and here's 2nd place in the championship standings. Points leader up to 1 week before 1 week ago at Pocono. Braden Perez sitting in the 28th position as of the last time through at the start-finish line. He's going to go for a 3-wide dive into turn number 5 on his teammate and John Andrews in the 41. So Thomas Troxel in the 62 trying to beat them both here. Perez is going to pull out of the battle for now, but Andrews and Troxel still going at it. Troxel slides wide off in the dirt. Andrews is going to pull ahead of that 62, though. So checking in up ahead once again. I believe this gap is closing a little bit between first and second. Nelson has stayed pretty close to Thompson this whole time. The gap stayed just about the same since that 23 got around the 73. But Nelson is working Thompson over as he goes around this racetrack, and a bad corner entry for Nelson. He's off the racetrack. Brock Nelson is off at turn 14 and is going to slip from 3rd to 5th. So the Gateway winner really putting a damper on what was probably going to be a big opportunity for him. It looks like Alex Lozano, 5th place in the point standings, has gone into the pits and is staying there in the pits. Wonder if he went off somewhere. But that is huge championship implications for the season. And Keegan Thompson looked like he caught up mightily to the back end of Justin Zeidel, but had another bad turn 3, and Christian Vargas is going to take over that 2nd position. Could Thompson go for a dive? Back on that 05 heading into turn number 5. Not going to be able to for the time being. We'll head up the hill under the Corvette sign into turn number 6. Thompson, another really atrocious corner there. And that could be good for Priya McShane. Look at the Coca-Cola Ferrari catch up to the back of the Mack Tolls Toyota. 07, and now heading into turn number 8. Justin Zeidel has just about been flawless so far. He's led every single lap in this one to this point. We were working the 5th lap of 13 here in the Culver's 400K at Road America, race 20 of the 32-race Trinity River Cup Series 2023 season. Justin Zeidel has never been to victory lane in a points-paying race before. Last year, this race was won by a first-timer, Priya McShane at the time, and she went on to win at the Homestead Miami Speedway to bank a 2nd win in her career. But Priya McShane, so far this year, has not gone to victory lane. 19th in the championship standings and 0 wins. However, Priya also comes in with 2 top 5s and 5 top 10s and an average finish of 20.3. And I know that sounds like a really bad average finish, but think about it this way: when you consider points leader Elijah Gordon has an average finish of 16.4, and the next best is a 17.26. The next in the championship standings anyways, looks like John Andrews and Jacob Thibodeau as well have run into issues. So we're going to have quite a few things to take a look at after this one. So Thibodeau and Andrews as well into the pits, as is Trey Wright. Sorry, that's Anthony McClure coming in. But we're right at the point where we could be expecting pit stops. So Anthony McClure and Stephen Colon come into the pits with John Andrews, Jacob Thibodeau, and Alex Lozano. Anthony McClure is already out of the pits. And they were not having a good day, really, at all. Just had a horrible qualifying run again. This is a very difficult racetrack to overtake on. We've seen bits of it all throughout the field, but not so much up front. Brayden Perez there going for a move on the 97 of Colin Teague. That is for the 26th position. He's going to cut to the inside of the Nissan through turn 7. Poking the nose ahead, heading for 8, and Perez is going to get that spot. How about that? So the points leader up to the 26th position now. Elijah Gore. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Andrew Williams thought about making it side by side going into the kink. Thought better of it. I would almost imagine. So we saw Stephen Colon and Anthony McClure go ahead and come down into the pits. Is anybody else going to do that this time through? See, Zeidel comes off the corner. He's going to keep going. As will Vargas, Thompson, McShane, and Nelson. There goes Upton. There goes Cruz, Smith, Gordon, and Samadeo. That's the whole top 10 right there. and a side-by-side now between the 95 and 50. That is for the 13th position. It doesn't look like any of the front runners are going to come into the pits, so we'll watch this battle now as Sebastian Kukulon trying to push the Advent Health Aston Martin of Andrew Williams through around Trey Wright, heading into turn number 1. They're still side by side. Kukulon heads up to the outside, through 2 and into 3. This is going to be a good spot for Andrew Williams to maybe clear that 95, and not quite clear. Is Kukulon going to try to push that 50 through? Down the straightaway, heading for turn number 5. Wright furiously trying to stay even with the 50, heading off into this turn. It's an inside lane dominant corner. However, Andrew Williams will be the benefactor from that battle. And Sebastian Kukulon's going to sneak around the 95 as well. So that will move Kukulon up into the 14th position. But here's Wright going back down to the inside of the Hershey's 82. Off the racetrack goes Kukulon, and Wright's going to take the spot away. What a tremendous exchange that was. And though we didn't see the leaders come down into the pits this last time through, I do believe we're going to this time. So, looks like it was camshaft on Stephen Colon and a piston failure on the 57 of Lozano. So a couple of parts failures there on those drivers to knock them out of this one. Lozano, 5th in the championship points, is going to come out of here with a last place finish, and my goodness, is that going to hurt his championship aspirations greatly. Stephen Colon came in 22nd in the championship standings. He's going to come out of here 39th. He came in 83 points back, as here we go. Pit cycles underway at Road America. The whole lead group coming into the pits. Looks like Hayes, a wider entry into the pits, and well, oh, Willie, is that Lightning? Lightning's going to stay out one more time. If he'd have come in a little wider, if he did not come in so wide, I guarantee you he would have come into the pits, but no, he's going to stay out one more time. He will not get a bonus point towards the championship, at least this go around, as Justin Zeidel had already crossed the line just because of how far ahead he was. And looks like Zeidel is going to come out first. Is Vargas going to jump? Oh, bad stop for Brock Nelson and Keegan Thompson. Same for Scott Upton. Not a good stop at all for the 78. And that is going to promote Christian Vargas to 2nd, Priya McShane to 3rd, Brock Nelson back to 4th, and Keegan Thompson all the way back to 5th. Scott Upton into the 6th position, or what will be the 6th position once Dale Lightning comes down into the pits. Let's see, here's Dale Lightning going through turn number 7. Like Jacob Thibodeau and John Andrews are finally coming out onto the racetrack again. This is a terrible run. This is not what these two drivers needed right here. John Andrews has been on a skid. He comes in 7th in the championship standings, lost 2 spots 1 week ago at Pocono, with a win already this year at Atlanta. And Jacob Thibodeau has a win already this year at Willow Springs, another road course on the schedule. We have 6 road course races this year. But Jacob Thibodeau comes into this one 12th in the championship standings, and he's been having a really good season after not having a very good first half of the season 1 year ago, and then really turning it on late in the season. And so far, it has been the polar opposite. A pretty good start first half of the season, and then the second half has not gotten off to a great start at all for Jacob Thibodeau. So Dale Lightning in the Gander Outdoors. Aston Martin's going to come down into the pits this time through. So Justin Zeidel will likely inherit the lead this time around. As Dale Lightning, will see if he's going to get a bonus point here. He will get a bonus point towards the championship for leading a lap. So he's the first driver to lead a lap this race not named Justin Zeidel. And Lightning looks like he's going to get he's going to get a set of 4 Michelins and a full tank of Sunoco fuel, and he'll be going again. But it will not be quick enough to beat Justin Zeidel. Zeidel now retakes the lead here at Road America, just a little over a second ahead of Christian Vargas, who sits now in the second position. Bria McShane third, Brock Nelson, Keegan Thompson the top 5, then Upton, Cruz, Stover, Gordon, and Trey Smith round out the top 10. Dale Lightning is going to be, looks like he's in the 11th position now, just ahead of Nicholas Samadio. Really got to hand it to Justin Zeidel. Just a fantastic run all around today. Started on the pole position, which is absolutely where you want to start on a racetrack like this. A lot of other tracks, it's not so good to start up front. It ends up being a negative for you instead of a positive. But this one, man, he's driven his tail off today. If he's able to hold on, it will be win number 1. Here's Braden Perez going for a move on Colin Teague. That, I believe, is for 30th. Perez trying to go around the outside to follow his teammate Thomas Truxell. They're still side by side, heading off into turn number 8. They'll force Teague wide, heading into the carousel, but who's going to have the advantage this time through? It's like Teague's going to have it, and Marty Sekala's going to go to the inside of Braden Perez, and Perez almost off in the dirt. Saw a couple of cars get in trouble at that spot 1 year ago and fall out of the race. It almost happened to Perez, and Perez runs around the outside in the kink and gets back around the 11 of Marty Sekala. Tremendous driving there by Braden Perez. Although he's not going to come out of here with the finish of the race he would hope for. He's not going to be the absolute worst. It's not going to be an insurmountable lead for Elijah Gordon. We'll still have 12 races to go after this one. And of course, the next race we go to, the next track we're going to is Nashville Superspeedway, which has been quite a topsy-turvy race the last few years. A lot of action has happened at Nashville in the time that we've gone there in the Trinity River Cup Series. We've gone there 3 times in this series. So, you never know. And then, of course, right after that, we have a Chicagoland Speedway returning. And after that, Twin Ring Motegi, which has proved to be one of the wildest races on the schedule every single year we've had it. So that is something to absolutely set his sights on, looking for opportunities to retake the championship lead from Elijah Gordon, who is sitting in the 9th position now, and it looked like may have a 25-plus point lead coming out of this one. So about a little over half a race's worth of points coming out of this one would be Elijah Gordon's lead. Down through Kettle Bottoms into Canada Corner, Justin Zeidel still leads the way. Christian Vargas trying to close in, and Vargas, he's never won in his Trinity River Cup Series career. He's come close so many times, particularly this year. 4 top 10s on the season, but 0 top 5s. He's had some good runs up front, but he's not been to victory lane just yet. He got a really good turn 14, though. Up the hill. He's staying just about even with Justin Zeidel going down the main straightaway this time through. So 3 laps to go this time for Zeidel. And Christian Vargas, if Zeidel makes one mistake, Vargas is going to be right there. 2 drivers going for their first career Trinity River Cup Series win on one of the most difficult racetracks on the entire schedule. It's 0.35 seconds the difference the last time through. Under the Sargento sign on the back straightaway, Justin Zeidel still leading. Less than half a second the gap. Christian Vargas right there and behind the Xbox Chevrolet, heading off into turn number 5, one of the heaviest braking zones on the entire circuit. A better exit that time through for Zeidel. Vargas almost ran into the back of that 83. Getting off into that turn, now through 6 and into 7. This is where we've seen a lot of action today. Turn 7 and 8, this little corridor here. Vargas was not close enough to make anything happen that time around, though. So heading into the carousel, this could be a good setup spot here. Maybe not for the kink, but for Kettle Bottoms and Canada Corner, perhaps. Vargas got a lower entry there, lower exit out of the carousel into the kink. Oh, he might have a chance here. He might have a chance. Although Zidell looks like, again, he got a better exit out of the kink. Now down Kettle Bottoms into Canada Corner, this aptly named corner. Boy, if Vargas, if Zidell, truly, if he makes one mistake, Vargas is right there to pounce. Vargas looks perfect right now. Until that corner. That's on cue. Vargas, a wide turn 14 there, as opposed to Justin Zidell, who took it absolutely perfect. And now the gap this time around, 0.82 seconds. 0.8 of a second, the difference for Justin Zidell at 2 laps to go, looking for his first career win. Ran the entire season 1 year ago with Pacific Hamel Racing, the new startup team. Had just a horrible season of horrible seasons. 40th in the standings 1 year ago. Got kicked out of that 62. And coming into this race, he's 17th in the championship standings. No wins, 2 top 5s, but 6 top 10s on the season. And he's been leading a whole lot of laps, too. He's been up front a lot of the races this year, particularly on the 1.5 miles. I thought, well, we have less 1.5 miles on the schedule this year than we did last year. But, I mean, you'd think, hey, if it's going to happen, maybe it's going to be one of those tracks. But here he is leading with a 1.5 laps to go. Out of the carousel. Even with Christian Vargas that time, Vargas still trying to close back in and make up the ground that he lost. Kettle Bottoms once again, heading towards Canada Corner. Oh, Vargas is going to get a lot of ground here. A deep dive by Christian Vargas. Up the hill through 13 and heading for 14. The penultimate time through the final corner, heading for the white flag. Oh, a great corner by Vargas. A bad one by Zidell. They are nose to tail. 1 lap to go at Road America. If anything's going to happen, it's going to happen right here on this lap. Vargas against the back bumper heading into 1. Even with Justin Zidell. Through 2 and into 3. This is where we see all the mistakes. And there it is. He's off in the grass and in the dirt. And that's going to do it for Vargas. Oh my goodness. And Justin Zidell is in another zip code now. And now all he's got to do is cruise. Between turn 5 and 6, what the one mistake you couldn't make, the one place where we've seen the most cars have the most trouble every single year we come to this racetrack, and on the last lap, it bites Christian Vargas. How much heartbreak should one driver have to endure before they earn their first career win? But Justin Zidell, through the kink again, started this one on the pole, and he's dominated. He'll lead 12 of the 13 laps through Canada Corner one more time. Final 3 corners for Justin Zidell, up the hill, through 13. He sweeps out of 13 into 14. the last trip down the home stretch for the Michigander Justin Zeidel. Up the hill, and finally, after so much heartbreak and struggle, Justin Zeidel is a Trinity River Cup Series winner in the Culver's 400K at Road America. A max point day for Justin Zeidel. Your points leader, Elijah Gordon, comes home with a 9th place finish, and he'll grow his points lead out. As Braden Perez came home 24th, not a terrible run, so he'll lose 15 points to Elijah Gordon. So it'll be about 27-point difference coming out of this one, at least between those two. Chase Buck comes out of this race with, let's see here, comes home 29th, so even behind Braden Perez. Braden Perez actually finished 22nd, so I take that back. It will be 25 points the difference between Braden Perez and Elijah Gordon. Chase Buck is going to come out of here 28th, so he won't overtake Perez. Roberto Crown Jr. is going to come out of here with a 14th place finish. Might just overtake Chase Buck. Might even overtake Braden Perez. I think Roberto Crown Jr. might be jumping to 2nd in the championship standings after this one. So another very solid run for Roberto Crown Jr. The streak is alive. But Justin Zeidel is sitting pretty right now. He's taken the long drive back to victory lane to be greeted by his crew, a winner for the first time at Road America. He wins with an average race speed of 114.405 miles per hour, 2.645 seconds ahead of Christian Vargas. Priya McShane rounds off the podium with a 3rd at a racetrack she won at 1 year ago. A great average finish in her career at Road America. Priya McShane comes out of here with a 2 average finish at Road America in her 2 visits. Brock Nelson 4th, Keegan Thompson 5th, then Brad Stover, Trey Smith, Elijah Gordon, Nicholas Samadillo, and Brandon Hayes, the rookie, rounds out the top 10. Taking a look at the rest of your championship standings. And, well, 35 cars finished on the lead lap in this one. Some able to finish, others not. Most able to finish, but others were not able to. Jacob Thibodeau fell out of this one earlier on. Scott Upton and John Andrews fall 2 laps down. In a camshaft for Stephen Colon and Alex Lozano, knocked them out of this one early on. So that is going to do it here at Road America. One more congratulations to Justin Zeidel, who's going to climb the championship standings, no doubt about it. A dominating performance by Justin Zeidel, who came into this one 72 behind Elijah Gordon. Not going to gain a whole lot on the points leader, who comes out of here 8th. But still a tremendous run nonetheless for Justin Zeidel. That's going to do it for us here at Road America. We will see y'all next weekend in Lebanon, Tennessee at the Nashville Super Speedway for the Ruby Tuesday 400, this time in the sunlight and not in the nighttime. Hopefully it's a fantastic race. Hopefully you found some enjoyment out of this one. Next week is going to be a lot more wild, no doubt about it. We will see you then. Until then, y'all take care, stay safe, and have a good one.